Hello, friends. Good evening. This is day number 2 of 21 days of lives for me. So, yesterday was day 1. I can't believe I am taking this challenge. I honestly can't, but I am just going to chug along and hopefully bring you some content that will be uplifting, inspiring, engaging, entertaining. I don't know, but here we go. So, this is going to be day number 2, and this should be called. Um, Day 2.4 because I have literally tried to do a live of some type 3 times prior to right now unsuccessfully. Facebook has crashed on me, and so I'm using my webcam going through my laptop. I'm making it happen. So I'm kind of not used to this whole setup. So if I'm looking weird and looking left and right, it's because I'm not used to going through my webcam as often unless I'm doing like a Zoom call or something. So I see Laura's on, Angela, Narelle. Hello, friends. Okay, exciting. I'm excited to see some friends popping on. Okay, so I was going to go live about some kind of healthy eating on the go type tips earlier, and this has nothing to do with that. So if you want to know my tips for eating healthy on the go, that's just going to have to be another day of the next 19. But tonight I'm just going to kind of shoot from the hip and speak from the heart and kind of piggyback off of the post that I put up earlier about how each of us are so unique and so special, and why we really need to just stay in our lanes, stop looking left, stop looking right, stop comparing ourselves to one another and placing ourselves either above or below, because as we know and we hear all the time and we pay lip service to, it's that quote, comparison is the thief of joy. And so I really want to address a few things about how you may be using and consuming social media, and how I have in the past, that are really could be negative and detrimental to you, but it doesn't have to be that way. So that's the good news. So let's do a little survey. Okay, I want you to think about how you feel when you get off of social media. So after you've done a good long scroll on Facebook, or a good long scroll on IG, or whatever it might be, Pinterest, I don't know. How do you feel on a scale of 1 to 5? 5 being inspired, uplifted, or 1 being just kind of down about things and depressed? So how do you feel? In the comments, drop where you fall on that scale, 1 to 5. This is a no judgment zone. 1s are fine, 5s are fine. How do you honestly feel when you get off of social media? 5 being elated, inspired, all the good things. 1 being just down and depressed and kind of in a negative zone. And there's nothing wrong with any of those, but I want to show you how you can, or I want to talk to you about how we can get further toward a 5 and away from the 1, because what Facebook and what social media was really, at least for Facebook, what it was intended to be, I think, when it was created, as far as like the consumer part, it was for connection with old college friends. So I remember when it first came out, I think I was studying abroad, and it just came out and we were like, oh, this is so cool. All of these friends that we've met in our study abroad program, we can now stay in touch with through this thing called Facebook. And we friended each other, and it was super old school. And it was a really cool way to just stay connected and, message each other and all of those kinds of things, a way to keep in touch with people across the country and all of that. But I feel like now anyway, and I don't know when this started, if you know, let me know in the comments, but at some point it kind of took this potentially negative, joy-sucking comparison and competition turn. And it's so sad to me because it has so much potential for massive good, massive inspiration, massive, I don't know, just all the good things. But if we let it steal our joy by using it to kind of compare and compete and all these things, it can really be a negative space, a soul-sucking space. If you've ever felt like Facebook or Instagram just sucked your soul and made you feel so down, raise hand emoji. Again, no judgment. I felt like that before too. Angela says, I used to be a 1 when I wasn't happy with where I was. Angela, I think you're gonna vibe with what I'm about to say. Yes, I agree. Don't compare myself to others and stay in my own lane. Yes. So that is really it. I mean, Angela really just summed up my entire talk, but I'm going to give you two kind of ways to look at social media. So I will say with a caveat, there are things, so there are times in life when you're in a really vulnerable state. Maybe you are trying, and I've experienced some of these things. Maybe you're trying to get pregnant, it's not happening, and you're just seeing everyone get pregnant around you, and that's a trigger. Maybe you've just miscarried. Maybe you've lost a child. Maybe you're going through divorce. Maybe you're super lonely. All these things, I know things can be triggers, and by all means, you need to protect and guard your heart in whatever means you need to. So if you need to get off social media, if you need to do a detox off social media because things are triggering you and triggering your emotions and that's unhealthy, this is not that. So that is not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is just when you're in, a general state of being, how to keep Facebook from sucking the joy out of you and how to look at it differently. And I'm looking at some notes because I did jot down some notes because I, again, was not planning on doing this live, and I just kind of thought, you know what, I'm just gonna share a couple things that were on my heart. So tip number one, if you find yourself scrolling through Facebook and there's someone in your feed or there's a page that you follow that shares things that you don't like or that you just don't vibe with, they're not your people, you don't know where you became friends with them, and they just kind of like, you don't like their vibe, here's a great life hack. This is like, are you ready? Drum roll. Unfriend them. You don't have to follow or be friends with people that you don't like or that bring down your energy level. I'm all about protecting that energy field. If there's people on your friends list or pages that you follow that don't bring your energy up, just unfollow them, myself included. If you're like, Ashley, you need to stop talking about all this crazy stuff, just unfollow me. You will not hurt my feelings because what I do on social media is I stay in my lane. And that is something that I think is super, super important. Life hack, unfollow people and don't be friends with them if they're bringing down your energy. So the other thing to remember when you're scrolling on social media, and this is really near and dear to my heart. Okay, so first of all, if you're scrolling through and you're seeing people's images of perfection, so especially like on Instagram, I have so many friends who take amazing pictures. They're artists, they're bloggers, they're influencers. Their creative juices are so amazing that they can create these pictures that take your breath away. They're so perfect. And what is wrong with that? Nothing. It's amazing. Do these people who take these perfect pictures and show them on social media, do they do that to make other people feel bad? Heck no, they don't. Those people that do that are the ones that I know anyway, the circles that I run in, the people that I know that do that are doing that out of their creative soul. And for many of them, it's their livelihood. So they have this talent that they're monetizing. And that's why they create those perfect pictures, or maybe they're not monetizing it. And that's just a passion. They love to capture their family in these settings and situations that, yes, they're somewhat contrived sometimes, but it's beautiful and it's amazing. And I really want to encourage people, if you're looking at images of perfection, number one, remember that no one's life is perfect. No person's ever looks perfect every day, has the perfect family in coordinated outfits every day, has the perfect clean house and kitchen with nothing on the counters every day. That's just not reality. Perfection is not reality, but we also have to remember to stop the judgment on people who do choose to put those perfect pictures out there. So I just want to flip the script a little bit because I've heard so many people. Personally, I can't take perfect pictures, but I have friends that can and do, and they get these terrible messages and just people accusing them of being fake and, really putting themselves above these people who create these perfect images and share them on social media because they're judging them. So I guess I would just like to remind us that, no one's life is perfect. No one looks perfect all the time. And really it comes down to, if all of us, myself included, if we could just stop with judging. Okay, so judging ourselves and judging other people, because if you're judging is comparison. So, and when you compare, you're either going to put yourself above someone else or you're going to put yourself below them. Either way, what you're doing is negative. You're lowering your energy, you're lowering your effectiveness, you're lowering the quality and level of person you can be. The best thing that you can do is to look inward and see, okay, if I'm judging that person, what is it in my life that I'm lacking that makes me feel like I have to do that? So if I look at someone's, what's that insecurity? What's going on in me? And how can I turn inward and hammer away at that area for growth and that area of weakness within my own self, make it a strength and share out of that and better the world, rather than looking left, rather than looking right, rather than putting yourself above or putting yourself below. Stay in your own lane, share what you can share, give what you can give, and consume the things that bring your energy level up, and just stop comparing. I promise you, it's so game changing. Your life will change, the way you operate will change. And this is not just, honestly, it's not just about Facebook, right? It's just life in general, whether it's in your workplace, whether it's in your church groups, whether it's, in sports, whatever it is. If we can focus on bettering ourselves with the intent of then being able to go and move out of that place of being the best version of ourselves, what an amazing world would it be, versus what often happens is when we are on social media or when we're out in the world, we're just we're looking to see how, do we feel like superior, inferior in these different ways? And none of that matters, because we're all a 1 in 400 trillion chance of being born in the place and the time and the day that we were. We're all so unique and special. So there's no need for that. There's no place for that. So rather than taking a detox or a break from social media, if you're just if you were like a 1 or a 2 or a 3 where it's just not uplifting to you, I really challenge you to take a judgment detox. And I have to do this every once in a while when I, for example, and I'm going to be real vulnerable with you. So I did my day 1 video challenge, and I'm not a master at live videos. I'm just not. I want to get better at it, and I want to get better at sharing messages that are on my heart, but I'm not perfect at it. But last night, I'm working with people who are masters at it. They're masters and they're amazing. And I watched some of their videos, and I started doing the comparison thing. I started putting myself below and just thinking, wow, I don't think what I shared was like very worthwhile. And I just started having all those mind monsters, all those lies, all those untruths, because I was doing that weird comparison judgment thing, and I was putting myself below. And that did no good. It stole my joy. It didn't do anything positive for anyone. So what I did, I kicked that in the butt last night. I wrote a post that I shared this morning that I hope encouraged and inspired at least one person about how we all are created so unique, and that there's no one in the world who can do what you do, who can share what you share, who has the testimony that you have that you can share with the world. And if you're nervous to share because you have felt judgment toward other people who do share positive things, or if you've heard people gossip about people who do share positive things or these perfect pictures or whatever it might be, I encourage you to get over that, to get over it and begin to share from an authentic place if that's something that you feel called to do. Because I think it's easy to, hide behind these like masks and facades and judgment and all of those things, but it's amazing. Some of the women that I'm working with now, I'm seeing them absolutely blossom because they're challenging themselves and they're pushing themselves to come from an authentic place online and in their own lives. And it's transformative. It really, truly is. So anyway, I would just encourage you to, if you're feeling like you're not at a 4 or a 5 when you leave social media, make Facebook a haven for you. And if it's not right now, make it that way. Follow people who inspire you. Follow people and be friends with people who lift you up, who bring up your energy levels, who push you to be a better version of you, who give you something of value. Follow those people and then either block or unfollow the rest. Make Facebook your little personal development connection hub for good. And that's what I've done. And I promise you, it's so game changing. Do not care what people think about you. If you want to go live and you want to talk about something on your heart, don't care what people think about you, because their opinion of you is none of your business. So I challenge you, make your Facebook and make your social media your own haven of inspiration. Stay in your lane. Don't look left. Don't look right. Look forward. Look look up to God, if anything, but don't, put yourself above or below, and look inside of yourself when you feel that nag of like you want to judge, or you're just feeling that nag. Look inside yourself and figure out, what are you lacking? What is lacking in you that you can pour into yourself and that you can grow and nurture and make that your superpower, because it is so powerful when you take a weakness and you turn it into a strength and you move from that place. I've seen it happen so many times. I've seen it in myself. It's game-changing. It's life-changing for you, but even more importantly for the people that are in your circle, the people that you can impact. Remember, you do not have to be perfect to make an impact, and perfection doesn't equal impact. So you don't have to be perfect to make an impact. Perfection doesn't equal impact. Just do you, share from the heart, unfollow people, create the space that you need to get something positive out of Facebook. And I promise you, your life is going to be happier. Don't let Facebook be a place that depresses you. Let Facebook and social media be, if you're going to be here, have it be worth your time. Have it be something that brings you up and bring others up with you. That's all I have to talk about. That is not my 3 favorite fast food tips. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. I don't know. But anyway, I'll see you all for day 3 of this dang challenge. I'm doing it. Hell or high water, I'll make it through. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in, and have a blessed night. Mwah.